Hi everyone, I'm Cal from the Be More Outdoors YouTube channel. Today I'm cycling in the Purbeck to show you the absolute beauty of this place. So if you're interested, check out that video. But I thought I'd use this ride to also test the range on my newly acquired Cube Nulane Hybrid C62 Race 400X. That was a mouthful, with fully loaded touring panniers. But let's start with a little tour of the bike, and full details of it is available on the Cube website, and I've put a link in the description below. But in summary, the bike comes with hydraulic disc brakes, one by 9 gears with 42 at the front and 10 to 44 at the back. I've opted for the FE version, which stands for fully equipped, and it means that the bike comes with front and rear mudguards, front and rear lights which run off the bike battery and is turned on and off using the mini remote on the handlebar here. It also comes with a kickstand and a rear pannier rack. But note that it came with a low profile rack, which means that the top rack here that you see, I had to purchase that separately, and I use it to put my tent on or to stow away quick access items. The bike comes with an integrated Bosch Compact Tube 400 and a Bosch Performance SX drive unit. And the battery is located in here, and you can access it by removing the bottom bracket. So to charge the integrated battery, the charger needs to be plugged into the port on the bike, which is here. There you go, that one. You'll note that I've also got the Bosch PowerMore 250 battery extender, and the battery extender connects to the port that I've just showed you. So to charge the integrated battery, you need to disconnect the battery extender and therefore charge the two separately. According to the Cube website, the bike with the integrated battery can be ridden in rainy conditions as long as the e-components are not submerged. And I've contacted Cube directly, and they've confirmed that the same applies to the battery extended when connected to the bike. Before we go on to the range, let's take a look at the riding modes available with the bike. There are 9 riding modes, and as you can see, I've selected the Eco, Tour, Sprint and Turbo, and the settings for any of these can be adjusted using the Bosch Flow app. There are 2 ways of changing between the different modes that you've selected. You can use the controller on the top tube. So I've got mine at the moment set on Eco. And if I press once, it'll go up to Tour, and again to Sprint, and again to Turbo. And if I press and hold, it'll go back down to Sprint, press and hold again, Tour and Eco. And the button I was pressing is the plus and minus sign over here, and you can see that there's a power button here. You've also got the mini remote on the handlebar, and you've got a plus and minus sign there, and you guessed it, plus goes up the list of riding modes and vice versa for the minus. You'll also notice this button here on the side, and that's the walking mode, so it powers the bike, give you a helping hand while you're pushing the bike. Now, I've mentioned the Bosch Flow app in this video already. You can use it to set up your bike. You can also lock the bike, at least the e-components of it. So if your bike gets stolen and it's locked and they don't have your phone, they'll never be able to use the electric components. Obviously, you still have a stolen bike, but I've got an AirTag which I use with my bike and to help, hopefully, if it's ever stolen, recover it. But going back to the app, I don't use it because obviously it's on my phone, and I prefer to use my phone in case of emergencies or to adjust my route using Google Map, for instance. And I've got my Garmin to navigate. Every now and then I might use the app to just check my battery status, like if I'm in a cafe or something, I might just quickly check it. But generally that's it for me. However, if you do want to use the app fully, you can use it to upload a route and then navigate from your phone. It also shows you the charge on each battery, or one of the battery. If you only got the integrated battery, then it only shows you obviously the charge on that battery, and it gives you various information such as your cadence, your speed, etc, etc. So that is an option should you choose to use it. Bosch also has an attachment where you can clip your phone to. That also has the ability to charge your phone as you use it. But I've got quite a busy handlebar already, so not something I'm interested in adding to my bike. So, getting on to the range then. Bosch has an online calculator, and I've put the link to that in the description, and I've used it to give me an idea of the range of the integrated battery, which has led me to decide to get the battery extender, because the idea of the e-bike for me is to enable me to ride at the very least the same amount as I would on a mechanical bike, if not more. And with just the integrated battery, it was giving me a range of about 50-ish kilometers. And while there is some uncertainty in that estimate, it's about half of what I'd ideally like to ride. So I thought definitely get the battery extender. There's also on the Bosch Flow app 2 ways of estimating the range. On the app homepage, there's let's call it a general range estimator, and it does take into account your riding style, and it learns as it goes along, but generally it's irrespective of how you're using the bike, in terms of whether you got panniers or not, whether it's a hilly ride or a flat ride, etc. Which brings me on to the second way of estimating the range using the app, and that's on the plan icon at the bottom. And you can upload your route there and open the route up once you've done that, and it, based on the elevation and distance, it'll give you a slightly more accurate estimate of the range. Now, keep in mind that it still doesn't take into account things like the weight that you're carrying, weather condition, road conditions, etc. So hence, I'm out today testing the range, and gives me more of a feel of the likely range that I would have available with a touring setup. So let's get back on the bike, and once I get home I'll compare the range I've actually done to the range that was estimated on the Flow app, using both methods on the app. Back home now, and it's time to look at the range. I've cycled approximately 80 kilometers with 1,350 meters total ascent, mostly in eco mode, and I've used approximately 53% of the total battery charge. Based on the range estimate available on the Bosch Flow app homepage, with both batteries at 100% charge, I should have enough charge to cycle 61 kilometers in turbo mode, 82 kilometers in sprint, 72 kilometers in tour, and 114 kilometers in eco. So by that estimate, to cycle 80 kilometers, I would need 70% of the combined battery charge versus the 53% that I've actually used. So the estimate is actually a conservative one, which actually is preferable when planning a route. Now, using the range estimate available on the Plan tab of the app, based on route specific distance and ascent, I would use up 80% of the combined battery charge to do that route. So an even more conservative estimate. So I think the range estimate within the Flow app, we're using either method, is a very good tool to have when starting off with the e-bike. But I think the best thing to do is, as I cycle, just make my own notes, and from that get a better estimate of how much range I've got for different rides with different road conditions, weather conditions, and load. But overall, I absolutely love that bike. I like the weight distribution of the mid-drive motor. The integrated battery does mean that the bike needs to be indoors while charging, but it does make the bike look sleeker, which shallow, but true nonetheless. The capacity of the integrated battery is smaller than some other e-bikes, but with the battery extender, it's still a light enough bike for me to handle, for example, getting the bike on and off the train, which is quite key for me. And with the battery extender, I have enough range to do the routes that I would want to do without compromise. Hope you found this video helpful. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Hope to see you in my next video, and subscribe if you want to be notified when it goes live. But until then, take care.